According to the Influencer Marketing Hub, the $100 billion plus creator economy is more than 50 million strong, but only about 2 million of those creators earn enough from their passion to consider it their full-time income. Now, despite what that statistic might suggest, you don't need a massive following to make a full-time income as a creator. My YouTube channel is pretty small. I've got less than 65,000 subscribers, and I've got less than 3,000 followers on Instagram, yet I still managed to make 400K US last year as a creator. And I even made 70K as a creator my very first year. This is how you can do it too. Now, if your goal is to become a professional creator rather than just a hobbyist, meaning you want to be able to sustain yourself financially from your content creation, you're going to need to treat your blog, your podcast, your YouTube channel, or any other platform you choose to create content on as a business from day one. Remember, the number one goal of any business is to make money. And so if your business isn't making money, you don't have a business, you've got a hobby. Now, approaching your creator journey with this mindset is going to put you miles ahead of the 48 million amateur creators who aren't likely to fill a piggy bank with their earnings this year. Now, to get things moving quickly and sustainably, you're going to want to keep things very simple and focus on just the right things. So first, you're going to decide what you're going to talk about. So in other words, you're going to choose your niche. Now, this can be a challenge, especially if you're a multi-passionate creative, but you do need to pick a niche, especially if you want to grow quickly. So talking about disparate topics not only confuses your viewers, as it really won't be clear exactly what you can help them with, but it's also extremely important when you're relying on the algorithms of platforms like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok to push your content out to more people. Now, sticking to one topic or a few really closely related topics, that's going to help position you as an authority in your space so that your ideal audience thinks of you first when they need a solution to a problem. It also lets the algorithms know exactly what you're about so it can expand your reach and put you in front of the right people. Now, if you're struggling a little bit with this, just ask yourself a few of these questions. So, what topics can you talk about for hours on end? What things do people consistently ask for your help with? And importantly, what kind of content do you actually enjoy creating and you think you'll enjoy creating for the long term? Once you've got some of these ideas, think about the problem that you actually want to solve, as well as the solution you're going to provide. So are you providing education about your topic, or will your content be pure entertainment? Or ideally, is it going to be a mix of the two? And are real people actually searching for this kind of educational or entertaining material? It's a good idea to hop onto YouTube or Google to find out what content already exists in those spaces, how popular it is, and what the competition is doing. You're going to get much more traction if you pick a niche that real people are interested in and already actively searching for. So when I first started my channel, I knew I wanted to talk about low content publishing, and because I posted solely about just that topic, it was a topic that lots of people were searching for, one where not a lot of competition really existed at the time. Viewers knew exactly what they could expect from me, and the algorithm knew exactly who to push my content in front of, and I was able to gain traction pretty quickly. Now, if you're interested in seeing that journey and finding out how long it took to get monetized and what I've made on YouTube year over year since I started, you can check out this video right here. Next, you want to determine who your content is for. So in other words, you want to define your audience. You want to create engaging content that speaks to a very specific type of person. Remember, if you're trying to speak to everyone, you're going to end up speaking to no one. You want your viewers to consume your content and think it was made just for them. So consider demographics like age, gender, location, socioeconomics, but also go deeper and think about hobbies and interests, challenges, obstacles, biggest fears, values, any transformation they might want to make. For me, I knew I wanted to speak to aspiring online business owners. They were probably in the 30 to 50 age range. They're looking to add a passive income stream to the mix. I knew that they likely had a full-time job that they really weren't thrilled with. They wanted a creative outlet that could make them money, and they needed to be able to do it in a minimal amount of time so that it wouldn't interfere with their current responsibilities. These are all things to consider when defining your own audience. Next, define why your audience will listen to you. So this basically means determining your USP, which is your unique selling proposition. Unless you're at the absolute cutting edge of whatever topic you're going to be creating content about, it's pretty likely that plenty of others are already talking about the same topics that you are interested in. But this really isn't something to worry about. It's actually a really good sign because it means there's plenty of interest in that topic. What it does mean, though, is that you need to determine what makes you different. Why would someone come to you for the same information that they could get from someone else? What makes you different? Now, this could be the specific audience that you're talking to. Perhaps no one else in your space makes content specifically geared toward that specific audience and their unique problems. It could be the style in which you create the content, or it could just be your unique personality. Maybe you're really funny and entertaining and animated, or maybe you're more calm and soothing. So you want to try and analyze your competitors here. You want to try and figure out what makes them unique, and then figure out how you can offer something different. Now for me, I knew that there was, a lot of hype surrounding my niche of low content publishing. So I decided that I was going to be the voice of reason, being very real about the opportunity that it was and still is, but I also wanted to be very real about the amount of time and effort it actually takes to see those big results. Over the past couple of years, I've received a lot of feedback from people who've appreciated that about me and my channel. Next, you want to determine where the best place to connect with your audience is. So once you know who your audience is, you're going to need to determine where they are so that you know exactly where to connect with them. It's no good starting a blog if your ideal audience spends most of their time listening to podcasts or watching videos on YouTube. This is very important also. Choose one evergreen platform to focus your time and energy on, and if you have the bandwidth, you can choose one timely, nurturing platform. So by evergreen platform, I'm talking about YouTube, podcast, blog, or to some extent, maybe even LinkedIn. And timely and nurturing platforms are ones like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and again, LinkedIn could kind of go either way here. Just remember, you can't be everywhere all at once, and if you spread yourself too thinly across multiple platforms or try and get in on all of them, you're gonna have a really hard time gaining traction on any one platform. So I went all in on YouTube, and it's really only been in the last couple of months that I've started to put time and energy into Instagram, and I just started posting on TikTok as well. So this is a few years in. And side note, if you like the idea of bite-sized content around low content publishing or the online business space, please go ahead, follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. I've linked to both of those accounts down in the description below. I am posting content on both of those platforms every day. Next, and this is crucial, determine how you are going to make money. This is essentially your business plan. Now, most people neglect this step, and it really is the most important one. The sole purpose of any business is to make money. So if you don't have a plan for monetizing your content, you're gonna be a hobbyist forever. So also it's important to note that most people are not going to generate a full-time income from content creation alone in that first year. So you're gonna need to determine how you're gonna make that additional money. So these revenue streams can include digital products like templates, printables or ebooks, a digital course, affiliate income, branded sponsorship deals, physical products, or even coaching or other services. So I actually only made $5,000 from AdSense my first year on YouTube, but digital course sales, affiliate income, and private coaching closed the gap and allowed me to finish off that first year at $70K. And this is exactly how most other professional content creators earn their full-time living as creators as well. A blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel mainly is looked at as a lead generator that attracts an ideal audience, and then those audience members are converted into paying customers. So start with one of those income streams, then add additional streams over time. So you want to think about the biggest problems your ideal audience has, which income stream has the biggest likelihood of helping them solve those problems, and then kind of just go from there. So for me, I spent the first 9 months of my YouTube channel creating a digital course in my niche, and all the while my channel was attracting those perfect ideal customers so that when my course was ready, I had over 100 people that were just instantly there ready to buy. If you're enjoying this video so far, it would mean the world to me if you would give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Doing those two things is going to help push this video out to even more people who might find it useful. So thank you so much in advance. Next, you want to set some clear goals. So you've determined how you're going to make money, set those goals. Again, most people just starting out as creators, they are not doing this. Now, businesses always have targets that they're trying to reach. And if you want to build a successful content creation business, you have to do the same thing. First, decide how much money you'd like to make, and then how you're going to get there. So if you've decided you're going to create a course that costs $600 and your target for the end of the year is $60,000, you're going to need to sell 100 units of your course. How are you going to achieve that? How can you promote your product or service through the content you create? And when you're focused on sales, as any business should be, you're going to start realizing that the metrics that matter are your sales, not the vanity metrics like how many subscribers you have or how many followers you have. And what you should really be paying attention to are how many of your readers, viewers, listeners, subscribers are converting into email subscribers, which we'll get to in a minute, and how many of those are converting into actual sales. Now, in another scenario, maybe you've decided that you want to make money through brand deals. So if that's the case, again, you want to decide which brands you want to work with, then determine how many subscribers or views you're going to need in order for them to want to work with you, how much they're going to pay you, how many brand deals, X dollars you're going to need to reach whatever your revenue goals are. And whatever your plan to make money is, create that revenue target and then figure out how many sales, brand deals, affiliate sales, coaching clients, whatever advertising revenue you're going to need to get there. So knowing this is going to inform your first action steps. Next, consider when your audience is going to hear from you and create a posting schedule. So you know what your niche is, you know who you're going to be speaking to, what's going to set you apart, where to find that ideal audience, and how you're actually going to make money. It's time to create a content creation schedule. How many times a week are you going to post? For blogs, podcasts, YouTube, I definitely recommend a minimum of once per week. For those timely platforms like Instagram, TikTok, I recommend once a day. The main thing here is that you must be consistent. Consistency is going to be absolutely vital for growth. The more quality content you produce, the faster your growth is going to be. Now, once you've done all of that preliminary work, it is finally time to start creating valuable content. Provide as much value as you can in your content. You want your ideal customers to come back again and again because they're going to see you as the authority in your space. Be intentional. Will your target audience find your content helpful? Is it going to solve their problems? Is it going to be entertaining enough to keep them coming back? Think about the real problems that they're facing and then offer them solutions in your content. Also, super important, which is something I neglected for literally like the first 3 years, check your analytics often. It is so very important to know which content is resonating with your audience so that you can double down and create more of that same content and then ditch the topics that end up falling flat. Now, if you're on YouTube and you want to experiment with different concepts before putting a lot of time into long form videos, try creating a bunch of shorts and use them kind of as a testing ground. You can turn shorts that do well into long form content, and then when you're doing that, you can feel pretty confident that whatever that topic is going to be well received. Now, I'm actually going to start using this tactic on my own channel over the next few weeks, so hopefully I'll be able to come back and report on the effectiveness of that strategy as time goes on and I get some results. Your next goal is to convert your audience into email subscribers. So once you're creating content, you immediately want a way to start converting your viewers into email subscribers. Again, we're not here for the vanity metrics. Having 1 million subscribers on YouTube or 1 million Instagram followers is great, but if it's not making you any money, then it's pretty useless. Also, you don't own any of the platforms that you're creating content on, unless it's a blog on your own website, but even then, the only way to truly capture your audience is with an email list. This is your direct line to your potential customers, and using that direct line to build a relationship and continue to offer value is vital. This way, when you are ready to make a pitch, they're going to be all ears. Now, the best way to build your email list is to create a freebie that you can promote through your content. You can house that freebie on a landing page, on your own website or landing page software for your audience to download. I've been offering one of the same freebies for almost 4 years. This is my 3 steps to publishing your first low content book in less than a day guide, which if you want to download, you can download down in the description below. I also have a newer freebie, the 4-step no time to waste online business startup blueprint. What a mouthful. I've linked to that down below as well if you want to check that out. Now, these freebies in combination have brought in over 20,000 plus leads and converted over 4,000 people into actual sales for my digital course, Low Content Profits Academy. Finally, last step, you are going to want to make incremental improvements over time. It is so important to make sure that you are constantly making small improvements to your actual content, but also to the systems that you've got in place for creating and publishing that content. So this might mean improving your writing, your video editing skills, scripting, updating your YouTube equipment and set. Whatever it is, keep looking for ways to refine your process and just keep getting better in general over time. So whether that's through receiving coaching, mentoring, taking courses, participating in masterminds, whatever. We've all got blind spots and we're going to need some of that outside help from time to time just to get us unstuck and moving up to that next level of success. Now, if you're doing this right, you should come dangerously close to actually dying when you look at your early efforts. Like, I want to leave my own body and just disappear into the ether when I look at my earliest videos here on YouTube. Oh my God. But I'm glad for that because it means I've actually improved over time. I'm always looking for ways to improve and reach that next level. So that means I've sought out coaching, I have joined masterminds, I've paid for courses, I've done A/B testing on thumbnails and titles, I've invested in better equipment over time, I've improved my YouTube set over time, and of course there's like tons of room for me to improve in all of these areas, but I'm making small improvements over time, and that's what you should be focusing on as well. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out those freebies down in the description. And if you like this video, give it a like, share, subscribe if you want more, and check out this video next if you would like help choosing which content creation platform is going to be right for you, whether that's a podcast, a blog, or a YouTube channel. Thanks again. See you next time.